I've been studying martial arts since childhood really, but I stopped and then I retook it up probably about 5 years ago. So since 5 years ago I've been studying in different styles and obviously getting a lot better. Well, basic principles for me I'd say is respect.
He has no master.
His master is Jesus Christ.
His master is Jesus Christ.
And also just discipline, discipline is probably your main thing. If you want to become good, great, a master, you got to have discipline and determination, If someone wants to submit, then no, of course not, I'd leave them alone. Some of the styles I do, that's what you're looking for, and even when I fight professionally, if they submit...
You got it, okay? You got it! You got it!
The fight's over. Even if he's mentally challenged, it depends on the situation, I guess, but no, in general... Obviously, if they were physically attacking me, then obviously I'd have to do something, but I wouldn't go out to hurt him, maybe just restrain.
25 years later, after the recording surfaced on the internet, the police are investigating the incident. Because there was no computerized records database back then, many reports have been destroyed as part of general record-keeping policies. The police are unsure even if the victim was alive after the incident or not. The only leads are eyewitness statements of officers at that time helping the victim out of a dumpster near the dojo, many remembering that the man walked away from the incident. Keep in mind that Blythe was very influential with the police because of his military background and his training of corporate bodyguards. Dr. Curie Scott explains to us the possible injuries that the victim might have suffered as a result of the severe beating.
He's probably got a head injury or several head injuries. There is some blood that's there as well, but it's not clear where that blood is from. He has banged his head on a pole. He has had his head stamped with his neck twisted. And the blood, so it's a definite head injury. Where the blood is from, it could be from his ear, so there might be a rupture through the ear canal. It might be from his nose, but it didn't quite look like that. That's probably the main areas. The other area is an actual head injury rupturing blood vessels from the scalp. Also have some sort of trauma from a stroke. This is a violent attack on a man. Some people will black out and then they will recover. If the question is, has he survived? Yes, he could survive. If the question is, was he completely well after it? Probably not. The disturbing thing is that this is on YouTube and nothing was done, so that's the ethical concern is greater.
Chuck Feldbush, a retired Prince William police detective, was working a uniformed patrol beat in the Dumfries area in 1984 and said he knew both Blythe and the victim. Feldbush, who could not remember the victim's name, said the man was a vagrant who lived in the woods near the dojo. Feldbush allegedly saw the man in the days after the incident and noticed him limping. This is a reenactment of his statement.
You could tell he had been beaten severely. He wasn't very cooperative and didn't want to pursue charges. If the video had surfaced in 1984, I certainly would have pursued it, as far as I could take it. There was some outrageous behavior on that video. I saw it for the first time in recent days, and it has caused a fever because of what people have been saying about it. You have an African-American male beaten to the ground. He's allegedly murdered and the police did nothing. That's as far from the truth as you can imagine. They've weaved quite a tale here.
The police currently investigating the case believe that there are other victims out there that were brought in from the street into the dojo and assaulted. But because of lost records, lack of evidence, and eyewitness reports from undependable witnesses, the only evidence against Bobby Joe Blythe, except for the recording presented, is the statement made by Blythe in 1985 on NBC's Today Show. The story centered on how he was training women to become corporate bodyguards.
We don't tolerate bullshit from nobody in our domain. We black belts, this is our place. We can do what we want anytime we feel like it. and feel free as anybody could be in this world, in this place right here, as a black man. So show your power. Enjoy yourself. Stress your power. Don't beg. Don't ever beg. Don't beg for a goddamn thing. Demand it or take it. And in your place, this is your dojo. No one treads on your territory. We can do anything we want. This goddamn school can't goddamn so nothing. We're liberal. If they come through that door, it's open season. It's open game. This is my school. I do what I want in my home. I do what I want in my place of business. And goddamn so.
Willem Bio, law professor at Kent University, explains the procedure that can be taken to finalize this case.
I would say that there's generally no statute or limitations for such serious crimes as murder.
We black belts, this is our place. We can do what we want anytime we feel like it.
In other words, you cannot kill someone today, get away with it, and think that if 20 years from now evidence is found that you did kill someone or intended to kill someone or you raped someone, that there's going to be limitations on procedures being brought in. And if it is true that this individual was murdered or there was an intent to murder him, or if it is true that this was an act of malicious wounding and the facts are established and proved, then in that case these individuals would fall within that liability and would therefore probably not be able to escape being prosecuted. The clearest one, I think that would be easiest to actually satisfy, is blatantly battery. It could be an assault, and it could also be malicious wounding, essentially aggravated assault or battery, because of the type of injury sustained seems to have been serious, and if it's permanent, and again that would need expert evidence. So in short, battery would be a lot easier to actually prove, because in most cases just touching someone without their consent in most cases would constitute battery, and when you add the fact that this individual was being severely beaten, I think that would usually satisfy the test for battery. And given that there seem to be some statements being made that could, and I think more evidence would be required here to show that the individual had the intent of actually killing this person. It does not matter whether the person died or not, is that the intent for murder would also probably be satisfied. There'll be very, very serious custodial sentences would probably be likely. And of course, if it's attempted murder we're talking about, it could be very, very serious in terms of years, considerably. I mean, for a murder, it can go on for life.
On December 13, 1984, in Dumfries, Virginia, an unidentified man who was believed to be mentally challenged entered the karate dojo of Bobby Joe Blythe and was almost beaten to death. The victim was a vagrant living in the woods near Blythe's dojo, known to local police, and had been a nuisance to a number of local businesses. Even so, did he deserve his fate?
Kung Fu Master, as he is departing my dojo,
would you want to be the victim of a random act of hatred and violence? Would you approve of the police covering up the investigation on your case?
If the video surfaced in 1984, I'd certainly would have pursued it.
Would you want your suffering to become a mockery on the internet?
Needless to say, the police pulled him out of the dumpster behind my karate dojo, where he was neatly placed.
Would you want this to be the last sound you make before you die?